Yeah, congrats, bro.
Congrats.
All right, so let's move on to the next point. So why do some people that you knew, that you grew up with, friends with, family, why do they like look down on you when they see that you've changed?
Because they know they're not doing good.
Right.
When people look down on others, I feel like, this is my personal feeling, I just feel like they jealous of your growth and they just don't see the growth in themselves. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I mean, I don't hate on anybody else for doing good. I want everybody to do good. I want everybody to get $1 million if you can get $1 million. But I think it's jealousy, and I also believe that they're not happy with their situation.
I definitely agree with 100% with Malcolm. I mean, people hate on you because I mean, for the simplest things or whatever. But yeah, they see you change and they see like, oh, he thinks he's better than me and stuff like that. And the thing is, they probably had opportunities to change themselves to get in a better predicament or whatnot, but then they were scared of the outcome, so they just still decided to stay the same, whatever. But I mean, just by them hating on you, I mean, they're never stay the same while you're constantly moving forward or whatever. So I definitely feel, they are just hating because they wish they were in that position to, move forward or whatever.
So y'all just think it's that crab in the barrel mentality.
So man, what you think?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think it's just a sad state of mind. Like people think they're like, you shouldn't have sinned. Like you can't stay where you are because you're not gonna get anything accomplished. Like what's the point? Because we all know people who like we grew up with one of the same things that they used to do. Like what benefit is that to stay the same and keep doing the stuff that you used to be? I never forget that conversation I had with one of the guys that we know. He was like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm still the same nigga I always been, man. He never changed."
The same too.
I'm like, that's not cool. And I hate that I had an argument with him because this was years ago. It was
argue with him.
It was like 10, 15 years ago, and like he had that. I hope he don't got that mindset now, but like even back then, like that long ago, I knew that like you can't be the same person you were in high school because it's not healthy. It's not going to be beneficial for you because it's not going to be beneficial around the people who count on you as well if you just stay the same. There are key components that you should keep. They're like good about you that you should remember, like where you came from, and keep some of the things that are good. But some things you have to grow past and leave in the past too. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just a bad state of mind is why people hate on you when you change. But like if you change for the better, you shouldn't be hating.
Right. Myself.
I totally agree, man. But it's still, we still know guys that's still living off their high school glory days, man. They're still talking about football and those things. Let it go, man. It happened 20 years ago, man. Let that thing go, man. What are you doing? Let's not living in the past, man. Because we need to provide better things in the future for everyone. Just stop living in the past, man. High school was great. But your future is probably better. High school is only 4 years of your life. And if you got to put it in, I think we should always put it in perspective. High school is only 4 years of your life. You've been an adult, 20 years now? So why are we still talking about high school glory days when it was only 4 years of your life?
That's all you got. That's all you can claim.
That's a small portion of your life.
So I guess the question I have is that for like friends that grew up together and ever, I mean, and you're going down the wrong path and that's not right, that's not good for you. I mean, changing in a way like that's definitely bad, and a lot of bad things can happen from that. I mean, like Malcolm said, also about kids, you treating your kids wrong and stuff like that, on marriage, and you're not trying to change for the better to help like your family out or your wife out. I mean, that's also bad as well. So yeah.
Don't be a follower.
Yeah,
that's what Mazia was saying.
Yeah, pretty much be a leader.
Exactly.
So is there any scenario in which if you just stayed the same and didn't grow, didn't change along your life, is there any scenario that could be a good thing?
No, I don't think it can be successful if you don't change at all. So if you still the same person that you was in high school, you probably still living at home with your mama, and you probably don't have a girlfriend or a wife or anything. You can't be successful without changing, because in order to be successful, you got to learn new things,
right?
And you got to experience new things. So in order to be successful, you have to change, and whether you want to change or not. So I don't think you can be successful without change.
Right. I feel like without change, you can't grow. And you know, in order for us to make it in this world, we constantly have to change and adapt to today's time and everything like that. But if saying, nah, I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna just stay where I'm at and keep doing my thing, I mean, the world's just gonna change and grow while you're still being left behind or whatnot. So, I mean, time waits for no man. So,
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of like any scenario that not changing is going to be beneficial just because the world changes so fast. I mean, even if you look at it in like technology, if you still try to use VHS tape, you still try to use a VCR, you can't buy them nowhere because the world has changed beyond that now.
Right,
so you can't hold on to the past because you're going to be left there. Like you're going to be alone, and you're not going to upgrade with how the world changes. So I don't know one instance that will work. So I mean, if somebody can think of one, like let me know, because I don't see it. And just like in like everything that I've learned over my years, like it's so beneficial. Like I don't think it's I think you have to try not to change really, because just like navigating through life every day, you're gonna think differently. You're gonna learn new stuff. And you know, even outside of like, if you
some of your opinions gonna change.
Yeah, absolutely. Stuff that we used to like back in the day, we're like, why the heck did what was I thinking? Or things that we used to do. So I think you really have to try to stay in one spot.
Right.
I don't know how you can just age and work and
not grow.
and new people and not change. I don't understand it. It's impossible.
Right.
But just people that tried, man.
But yeah, so tell us, like, so how can change like affect like your relationships around you positively or negatively?
I mean, if people see that, you know, you're all about, you know, bettering yourself, and you're like trying to move forward and have the right mentality or whatever, I mean, people look at that. I mean, people look at you every single day, and some people may not realize it, but you're always being watched. So I mean, if they see that you're changing for the better, that you're trying to, like, for example, come to work on time, or you're good with your kids, you have a great marriage, or, you know, just doing anything positive. I mean, people gravitate to that, to, you know, not live up to you, but try to make their life meaningful like that. So
I just think change make you a well-rounded person. So a lot of people will gravitate towards you because they know you're a well-mannered and well-rounded person. So I think you start, you know, meeting new people, and you start learning and understanding new things, and you want to do new experiences in those things. And I think more people gravitate towards you because they see the growth in you, as opposed to you not growing. And I don't think people will gravitate towards you. You'll be alone, like Clayton said. I think it's always good to learn something new, and I think it's also great to grow and to get out there. It's things that, you know, I said 10, 20 years ago that Clayton now keep bringing up. It's what I said I was going to be. But right now I'm a happily married man, because that didn't come overnight. That came over time with change. And I think I changed a great deal.
Indeed.
But of course, I mean, when I was 20, I said some dumb things. Yeah. That I'm 36 now, that I probably don't agree with, that I said when I was in 20, but that's called growth.
You made a good point right there. You know, like now in today's culture, everybody's trying to cancel somebody for what they said in the past. Right. So let me ask you this.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this though. You know how like some of these celebrities like Paula Deen, Hulk Hogan, they throw the N-word out, and we hold that against them.
Right.
So
the N-word is racist.
But I'm saying though, but they said it in the past. Like, are we still gonna hold that against them in the future? I think a lot of times we can be unforgiving.
Well, they passed because they got caught, but I still think they saying it in the present in their own home.
But we don't know. We don't know if they changed or not. Your boy John. My boy John Gruden.
But he didn't send one email 10 years ago. He sent multiple emails over multiple years. So that's who John Gruden is. He probably hiding everything else. And I just think sometimes who you are actually shows up sometimes. Even though Hulk Hogan tried to hide it for calling people brother, he probably was really calling them niggers. The code word of calling somebody else a nigger, brother. Y'all know how Hogan was doing it? That was just his code word of calling you nigga.
Oh, what you gonna do, brother?
So, Hulk Hogan, don't you ever call me brother.
But yeah, man, I didn't really cut you off, but you just made me think about that. Like,
Yeah, I see. I get it. I'm just saying, like, dumb things that I did when I was 20, I probably wouldn't agree with doing those things. Now, if I did this and I'm 20, and if I had the same opportunity to do it over again, I don't think I would do it over again. And that's what I was saying. But yeah, I mean, I think the N word, I think that's more of a racist type thing. And I just think that's who they are. They didn't accidentally say, hey, call this person nigger, because they probably knew it was bad then, and they probably know it's bad now. But other things like
hey, but we did some things that we knew that if we got caught, we'd probably get in trouble, but we still did them, but we wouldn't do it now.
but I don't think we was not racist type
We
stuff.
didn't do no racist stuff, but we did. Wrong is wrong, right?
Wrong is wrong, but I mean, okay, your boy Jody Farrell.
He calling everybody out today. You talking about the KKK thing?
Yeah, the cool kids thingamajiggy. You think that's who Jody Farrell is, or do you think
It's been a long time, so
He just
maybe
made a
maybe he
mistake.
changed.
And I mean, I feel like
it might have changed?
I feel like everybody deserves a chance. But the thing is, I'll say this: if you see that they changed, and I mean, why continue to, bring up their past or whatever? I mean, if they became a better person, they're not like that anymore, then I can understand.
But what I'm saying is, oftentimes we don't give them the opportunity to
Right.
show that they changed. We still got that in the back of our mind. Well, you did this 15 years ago. That's the type of person you are. But we don't
But
know.
if somebody came and apologized and was sincere about those things, then I say, okay, give them a pass.
Right.
But I don't even know if Hollywood Hogan apologized and was sincere about calling people brother.
Wasn't that why Booker T was mad? He said, "Hold
No,
up."
no. Booker T called Hulk Hogan a nigga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was mad probably because of that.
Nah.
But I just think sometimes, I mean, there are racist people in the world, and sometimes they are just racist, and sometimes it comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't hide it forever.
Right.
And sometimes I think they hide it because they're in the public and spotlight, and that's how they make their money.
Oh, yeah.
But behind closed doors, they probably racist as anybody else. So.
We went off on a tangent.
Yeah, I mean, so I think some people are okay to cancel, but I don't like canceling a lot of people for small things that they say.
Right.
Like Dave Chappelle, I don't know why they trying to cancel him. But
Yeah, he didn't say anything blatant, offensive or anything. He was
didn't think so.
He was just making a joke and making a point.
Right.
Which the crazy part about it is they actually kind of proved his point.
Yeah,
Because he was saying that like you can get away with killing the black dude, it don't hurt your career, but you can't say anything about the LGBT community.
Yeah.
And then they tried to cancel him.
Right,
Like it furthered his point that he was making, I thought.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, to answer the question though, like how can change affect those around you? Y'all said like the obvious things. Of course, like when there's good change in your life, that's going to trickle down to those around you. But I think oftentimes people don't think about like the trials and the tough things in life. That's where you learn the lessons that sink in the most is from hard times. Like like my pastor, he always says, if you pray for wisdom, you're gonna feel some pain.
Right.
So I think those tough times, the things that you went through that were tough, that you had to fight through it, I think those around you can learn from those lessons probably even more than the good things. I think oftentimes when we accomplish something good, okay, cool, that happened, but I think it just hits harder when it was a struggle. We had to fight to get through something. Right. I think that those things resonate more and touch people more because it's like, hey, this dude been through some real stuff. So I think those moments cause the most change in you, and it has the most benefit to those around you as well.
Right.
Yeah. So what are like key indicators that we should recognize as we grow to point out areas that we need to change in?
I'll use this as an example. not being wise with your money or whatever. I mean, you're sitting up here constantly buying stuff that you don't need to buy.
But what's the indicator of like, so you can recognize? So like, if you're a person that spends frivolously, what's going to be an indicator that you should look for? Like, hey, I need to be smarter with my money.
I mean, I guess that when you go broke, I mean, and you constantly are going through that cycle, and then like, this isn't the right way for me to, keep a dollar. I mean, I need to change my habits and whatnot, change my spending habits. I don't always have to go out to eat, or I don't always have to, buy the nicest shoes or different things like that. I can, maybe put some money aside to have for spending, and then, save the rest or whatever. So once you see, like, I feel like once you hit rock bottom, well, I don't want to say you hit rock bottom, but once, you hit that wall, dealing with something like that, then yeah, you definitely, it'll force you to change. So
I just think when we're not going right, whether that's on your job, whether that's in a relationship, whether that's with your friendship, so we all know when things are going bad. Whether that's in a relationship, whether that's with your friendship, so we all know when things are going bad. And I think that's a clear indicator. You need to look and see what's going bad and why things are going bad. And you need to start working on yourself. And that's how ultimately a man will change if he goes through some things, and he has to change, right? Because a man ain't going to change unless he absolutely have to change. Right. And I think sometimes we know when things are going bad, or there's something going on at this job, I can't seem to get ahead. Then you got to sit down and you got to think, why can't I get ahead? What am I doing that's keeping me in this same thing over and over? What can I do better and move forward? Right. And I think it's a lot of times we have to start looking at ourselves, and I think those are clear indicators on why we need to change, because we always know when things are going bad. Right?
I think oftentimes we miss the notion that it's us that needs to change, and like, just explaining what I'm saying is, like, we've seen people who complain about their job situation, or they complain about their relationship. Well, I keep meeting these type of people and they keep doing me wrong, but like, you keep choosing the same people. Like, maybe it's something that you need to change. So I think that, like, yeah, in some situations we know that we need to make a change to change the situation. But I think oftentimes some people ignore the fact that I need to change something and blame it on external instances versus looking within. Like, I'm the common denominator, and if I keep going through the same thing, obviously I need to change something. Right. So I think that we need to sit down with ourselves and sometimes take that self-inventory and say, like, well, is some of my actions creating some of this chaos within my life? Right. And I think some people are so ready to blame others, right, versus doing some self-reflection and take some accountability.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. It happens to us all, though. We all do it.
So just give the people, like, something to go out with, like some advice on how to embrace change.
I would say never be scared to face the unknown, and even to put God into it. I mean, God can he'll help you get through anything. So by you having him in your mind constantly, and also in your heart, and you have your faith in him, I mean, he'll guide your steps or whatever. So yeah, never be scared to take that leap of faith, because it'll be your most biggest blessing ever or whatnot. So never settle for less. Continue to strive to succeed and continue to move forward, because I mean, like we said again, like, this world doesn't wait for no man. Time doesn't wait for no man and whatnot. And if you don't change, you're just going to be stuck while everyone else is moving ahead of you. So
yeah, I used to tell my wife this all the time, man. If you don't like how you look, change it. Right. And I'm gonna